Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, today I am going over the top 5 reasons you should buy the Galaxy S8 and the top 2 reasons why you shouldn't buy the Galaxy S8. So let's get started. The first reason is the reason that a lot of people are saying about this device, and that is the infinity display. It really is something that I've said in all my videos you do have to see in person. But when you have this phone, it really is amazing just how great that screen to body ratio is and how big of a screen you get and the size of the phone you get. Keep this in mind. I have the S8 Plus, but the S8 has a bigger screen than every phone that came out last year, almost every phone that came out last year, definitely every flagship. So that means it has a bigger screen than the iPhone 7 Plus, than the Galaxy S7 Edge, than the Pixel XL. It has a bigger screen than all of those, but it's a smaller form factor, closer to the regular Pixel, to the regular S7, and to the regular iPhone 7. That's amazing. The fact that you get such a big screen, bigger than any other flagship from last year, with a great small compact size. It really is amazing, and something that you have to see to really understand how great that feature is. So that is the most obvious and definitely the first one I wanted to call out. For the second one, it is the main reason why most people get a high-end flagship device, and that is battery life and camera quality. And in camera quality, we've already done a lot of comparisons between all the different flagships out there, but the low light on this phone is really great and definitely stands out. But when you compare it to every other flagship on the market, it really shows off even better. You see just how much better of a shot that you get on this phone than any of the other smartphones out there. It really does stand out in comparison to everything out there. Not only that, but even when you see them side by side, you really get the idea like, oh, this just did everything better. It did what a lot of the other cameras were doing, but was able to do a better shot of it overall. So we have the full side-by-side comparisons for these to check them out, but even your selfies are going to look much better. They're fuller, easier to see, and you definitely just get a better overall shot with these overall in the camera quality. If you want to take a selfie, the S8 Plus kind of has what everyone else had last year, but in a much better way. Brighter, definitely sharper, and it just really stands out. And for those of you wondering about Apple's portrait mode, Samsung has had selective focus for a long time, but unlike Apple, you can actually do it of a person in low light. See, the iPhone 7 Plus, which we have in the studio, unfortunately cannot do it in low light of a person. It can do it of an object, it turns out, but it can't do it of a person in low light. It constantly says you need more light. With the S8, you can do that for the portrait mode or selective focus in low light. But not only that, not only do you get those great shots of this kind of style, but you also can do it with the front camera. It is the first phone to have this selective focus feature where you have a bokeh effect to blur out the background, and it really stands out. Not only that, but you can actually take away the effect later if you want to make the entire photo clear. Now, what about battery life? Well, battery life on this device is really impressive. We did do a full battery review on it, so make sure to check out our review for that. But really, we went over this. It's almost 11 hours of usage, and that was almost 6 hours of screen on time. That is damn impressive, especially when you consider this is pre-production software. It is not final software. So that's even more impressive to know that that's the kind of quality you got. Almost an hour of YouTubing and more than an hour of gaming all together to give you that kind of battery life. That's not something you see in a lot of other flagships, to be sure. The third reason is future-proof tech. See, the S8 and S8 Plus do have 2 pieces of future tech that are really great and are going to last a long time. And that is the Category 16 LTE, which can give you gigabit speeds instead of what we have now, which is 600 megabit speeds. So most smartphones on the market right now can do 600 speed. However, this phone is the first phone to have the gigabit speed inside of it, and you're able to utilize it. So that's a really big deal because of the fact that you are literally going to have faster download speeds than any other smartphone on the market, as long as your carrier supports it, of course. I'm lucky enough that I do have T-Mobile in Los Angeles, which means that I will get this kind of speed when I get it out for my T-Mobile phone in the upcoming weeks. Not to mention, you also have Bluetooth 5.0. Bluetooth 5.0, once you have a Bluetooth headset that has 5.0, has a much greater distance. But not only that, even if you don't have a Bluetooth 5.0 headphone or speaker, you can still use them simultaneously. What does that mean? Well, that means you can pair two Bluetooth speakers to your phone, or you can pair two Bluetooth headphones to this phone. That's something that other phones can't do because they don't have Bluetooth 5.0. Again, the fact that Samsung is doing this future-proofing, and by the way, other flagships that have come out this year, they don't have it. This is the phone that does have both those features built in, and that's really saying something in terms of future-proofing. You know it's going to have features that'll last you longer. Number four is a lot of the premium features, what I like to call, why do you want to spend more than $500 on a smartphone when there are a lot of great smartphones, the OnePlus 3T, the Axon 7, a lot of smartphones that are great at that price point. Why do you want to spend more? To get all of the extra features. What are the extra features? Waterproofing. It's IP68 water resistant. You don't have to worry about it getting wet. It's the only smartphone that has fast wireless charging. See, other smartphones do have wireless charging. This phone has fast wireless charging. So you don't have to wait there forever, but yet with wireless charging, it's not only convenient because you never break your cable, but it's definitely going to help retain your battery life much better so you don't have that poor battery life after a year. Not only that, but you do have other things like iris scanner, so you can scan with your eyes. I know a lot of people complain about the fingerprint sensor on the back, and don't get me wrong, I would have wanted it on the screen, and Samsung tried to do it, didn't get on time. Check out our Mobile Weekly if you missed on why that happened. But if you have a case, it really just matters of sliding down, because the case always tells you where it is, so I've never missed it ever with that. I know a lot of people like to bag on it, and don't get me wrong, I tore it apart before I got the phone, but ever since I got a case with the phone, you really never miss it. So that being said, still not the best place, but you do have the fingerprint scanner, but the iris scanner is more future like tech, and again, an extra feature. And then of course the storage, it comes with 64 gigs of storage instead of just 32 gigs. And you also have a secure folder, which if you haven't seen our video on the secure folder, it's essentially like having two different phones. You can have a personal phone and a work phone, or a personal phone and a cheating phone, if you will. You can separate and have entirely two different types of phones. Check out our video on that if you're wondering how you can do that. And then finally, the fifth reason why you should get the S8. It covers a lot of niches. What do I mean by that? If you have kids, it has kids mode. If you're a creative type, you have Movie Maker and SoundCamp. If you're a business person, you have Dex, the docking station that turns it into a computer. Or you have Knox, which completely separates it and has a 256-bit encryption to have everything for that. If you're a gamer, Game Launcher is absolutely amazing, and if you do Twitch, it is made for you. This is literally made for you. If you're a photographer, you have Pro mode, you have selective focus, you have food shot. It depends on what kind of photographer you are. If you're just, like to do everything yourself, you have Pro mode, but you have so many different kind of modes that you can download if you're just an Instagrammer or a vlogger. You have those kind of abilities, including dual camera, which is still something that I don't see most people do. But if you're a vlogger and you don't know what dual camera is, you're missing out. So that being said, those are all of the different modes, not to mention easy mode if it's your first time, or if it's your first smartphone. You have easy mode, which is by far easier than an iPhone or any other smartphone on the market. If you haven't used Samsung's easy mode, it is dead simple. So those are the 5 reasons on why you should get the Galaxy S8. But what are the 2 reasons to not get the Galaxy S8? Well, they're not only 2 reasons, they're 2 devices. And that's being said, it's the devices that are going to come out later this year. Now, I am on a plan on T-Mobile where I spend a little over $200 every 6 months, and I always get 2 phones a year on my plan. but most people only get one smartphone a year. So the two reasons why you shouldn't get it is because of the iPhone X and the Galaxy Note 8 or the Galaxy X. Now, you might be wondering, what are you talking about, iPhone X? What about the iPhone 8? Tell your local tech reviewer the iPhone 8 doesn't have a chance in hell of coming out this year. That will come out next year. For those of you who are wondering, what do you mean? Every reviewing website is saying the iPhone 8 will come out this year. Of course they are. That's clickbaiting. iPhone 8 gets more clicks than iPhone 7s Plus. However, every single year the S has come out, they have said, oh no, this year the 6 is coming out. This year the 7 is coming out. Guess what? This year the 8's coming out. No, it's not. It's coming out with an S. Apple has never skipped it. They will never skip it. It's going to be the 7S and 7S Plus. However, Apple is going to do a higher tier version, a $1,000 smartphone this year that definitely is worth your attention. This is going to be a $1,000 plus iPhone coming at the price point of $969 or $1,069, depending on what the price point they end up deciding for storage-wise, what they end up putting at the minimum. But that being said, that is going to be a phone you should definitely take a look at. It will be a glass-on-glass design. You're going to have an AMOLED display. You're going to have waterproofing. You're going to have wireless charging finally, and a lot of other features. So for that reason, that's why you might want to wait for the iPhone X, or there is a chance it could be called the iPhone 7s Pro. My guess is, I know Apple very well. iPhone X is a more like them and how they traditionally have always liked the Roman numeral style. The other one, of course, is the Galaxy Note 8 and the Galaxy X. Galaxy Note 8 is definitely going to be the biggest, and it will be the best smartphone that Samsung has to offer this year. However, it is for power users, and it will be more expensive than the S8 Plus, so keep that in mind. But it will be better than the S8 Plus in every single way. It's going to be better in every single way. You can guarantee that the Note 8 will be the best smartphone that Samsung offers. For the Galaxy X, for those of you who have not seen the video on the phones that will come out later this year, by the way, we did go over what the iPhone X will have, what the iPhone 7s will have, what the Galaxy Note 8 will have, and what the Galaxy X will have. We did do a whole video on all four of those devices, but for the Galaxy X, it's going to be Samsung's first bendable smartphone. Now, that could come out from September to January of next year. Some point between then, that's when we expect the Galaxy X to come out, as long as research and development goes good. However, my bet is still November. That's when I'm betting it'll come out. It's when the Galaxy Note Edge came out, and I think it's going to be a good time to have a different type of phone come out, and one that a lot of people wouldn't expect, and people will buy in limited amount, because that will be over $1,000 as well. Alright guys, hopefully you did like this video. If you did, please give a like, thumbs up down below. Share it with anyone that is thinking about getting the Galaxy S8 or S8 Plus, or if they didn't know, or if they still think an iPhone 8 is coming out this year, or if they don't know about the Galaxy X, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you as always for watching. Make sure to check out all of our other videos on the S8 as we have the most coverage on that device on YouTube. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.